I'd share some thoughts on this whole project. This originally, I thought that we were going to spend at least $5,000 buying cabinets, and pricing the cheapest cabinets, getting closest to the configuration that I did with these custom made. It will cost me, just for the the very basic cabinets, the cheapest one, I think Lowe's has something called Select or something, but they're unfinished, not including paint or anything. It will cost me almost $1,700 with the cabinets that they have. Keep in mind, look through the pots, that my cabinets go all the way to the ceiling. The second rod is the 30-inch mark, so I got another 20 inches of space to get to the ceiling on that wall. So, and I think 15 inches, 30 inches, and 15 inches are the standard that you can get for wall cabinets. And pricing them coming out to about $1,700 for just the base cabinets and the wall cabinets that I can get, and then I still have to fill in and do things. And of course, that I don't think I can find. That's something I have to make. And I plan on putting some sliding doors on that later on when the budget allows. I have come up with $500 and almost $50 in change, and that's taken me at least 6 years of putting change in jars. And then a return. We returned some stuff that we had for 4 years to Lowe's. They took it back. They still carried all the stuff, and it was still in good shape. We still had the original receipt from 4 years ago. And some of the prices changed, and they didn't go by the old receipt. They just went ahead and did it, and some of the things went up, some of the things went down. It came out about the same. We felt happy to get it out of the way and get money for it, and that was $260 of my $844 budget so far. I'm down to $100, which I will spend today, getting another can of paint and plywood sheet and this concrete for the countertops, which I hope to get working tomorrow. But if I had gone the other way, I would have spent a minimum of $2,000 on cabinetry, minimum. And that's not, I'm not even there. There's just no way. There's other projects on hand, and then doing this, I've come up with things that are better than anything I can buy. Use my little tripod here, get into the kitchen, and that $2,000 would not include new flooring. I used the old flooring. There's those pieces there. I just cut a couple of rectangles, and as I'm painting, I just put them down underneath. I don't care, they're going to end up in the trash. After we moved the refrigerator in, which we bought the refrigerator almost a year ago, and I want to say it was around, I think it was a $2,000 refrigerator that they had marked down, and we got for $1,500 maybe, or $1,200, I can't remember. It was, so, that's, I'm not including that because we already have it. The sink, my laundry sink, I went ahead and put one door on there, but I'm going to close in and put another cabinet over there, just a 11-inch deep cabinet, and I'm going to put a cement, the concrete countertop on that as well, so where it's not painted, it's not going to be showing. But I really don't like things under my sink. I'm finding that out. So that cabinet there will be for cleaning goods, products and things like that, my dish soap. I've got everything covered up. Instead of using tarps, I've been using the trash bags and then using the trash bags as trash bags because they're not damaged. They're just taped up there, and I still need to patch this. And when I start working with the concrete, I'll do all that at one time. That's my plan, but my plans have been changing. And this wall, I've not even factored in how much it's going to cost for me to redo that, but that's going to just stay as it is until I have more funds. My Christmas and birthday money is already spent. So that's what it's gonna happen. And you know, things are in havoc. Things are even messier than normal during this renovation. It would have been a lot faster if I could have bought cabinets, but I wouldn't have been able to get the sizes and the height that I would want. I really like what's coming together. This is already looking way nicer than it was before. I'm filling things in. I'm bringing stuff out from the back, and I will be getting rid of the industrial shelving that I have in the house, which I've always, I liked because they were practical, but they just never looked good, and I covered them in black trash bags to protect the jar stuff from the sunlight. I am going to miss my pot rack, because with the partial wall of cabinets that are going to be 4.5 feet tall to come up to the top of where the bottom of the wall cabinets are, and just coming around, so it gives me a little bit of separation while I can still talk to and see across it to people sitting at the dining room table. The big trick for me is I like to put horizontal spaces, get stuff. I'm really bad about it. If there's a horizontal space and there's nothing already there, I'll stack stuff, and I've got to break that habit because I want to keep that top of that partial wall as clear as possible. Maybe keys, maybe cell phones, purse, that's it. Nothing else. Eventually the pots will go down here next to the stove where the drawers are now, but that's just not, there's my seasonings, herbs, spices, and I'm playing around with different ideas on how to put it on the partial wall, but then it's going to be underneath the skylight and direct sunlight part of the day, and that's not good for them. But anyway, and our microwave died 3 days ago. My son went to get a pan that was next to it, and it popped. It was plugged up, and it popped and sparkled and blew a few, the breaker tripped, and my husband took it apart to see what the heck was going on with it, and it's dead. And I'm not buying another one. I have not used a microwave in I don't know how long. My husband likes to heat water in it, and that's about it. So now we got my little toaster, my little mini oven is over there, which is where I was planning on putting it eventually, in that area. And these cabinets are gonna eventually go, but that is way down the line. As long as I get the rest of this stuff done before Thanksgiving, it'll be along my timetable, which I hope to have it all done and using, no doors, in the next week or two, Lord willing. But I have been, this is just what we've been living with. I've not been cooking, of course, just our little rice cooker. I'm trying to get all the appliances over there, either up top or down below, and that's working. And some of that stuff that's over there is actually prep stuff that will end up in the peninsula. I want to keep everything without having to step away from this little work spot down where we got these little boxes of containers, to stand there and pretty much have everything, measuring cups, spoons, knives, cutting boards, little processors and such, that I like to use, the mandolin, things like that, will be right there within reach. There'll be drawers, a whole bunch of drawers on the end here, that are utensils and such that are right over there now, will come over. I didn't put the cookware back on the walls, so all those hooks are going to come down, and all those things that are now on buckets are going to end up in the drawers over here. So a lot has happened, and a lot needs to happen. But price-wise, having the limits of not having $5,000 to do this, and not getting a loan. I am definitely, we're not going to go into a credit line or anything to redo the kitchen, and not having it come out of the actual household budget, the regular budget. It's made me think outside the box, think differently. I've watched so many videos, all the cabinetry is basically a box. You build a box, 4 sides, backing on it, and then you install it. Because they're not boxes, I've saved at least 25% on lumber, because if I did it the standard way, this would have its side, and this would have a side, and there would be an extra side here, an extra board there, and an extra board there for this cabinet. So I've saved on materials and space, because that board would have taken up another 3/4 inch and would have thrown everything else off. Wouldn't have been 8 feet exactly. So doing things a little differently and putting it up a piece at a time, I'm able to do that. I can physically do that. I could not physically, if I put that cabinet together, just that 18 inches, not the 36, but actually just put that together with 2 sides and 1 permanent shelf, top and bottom, 2 permanent shelves, 1 top, 1 bottom, and lift that thing and put it up there. It would have been a struggle for me, and as it is, my back is hurting. I'm wearing on some of the videos you'll see me wearing a brace on my wrist. It was something that was already bothering me before I started this, and it's really been aggravated, and wearing the brace has made a big difference, but it was very painful. So doing stuff differently and building it literally 1 piece at a time, 1 board at a time, in place. I'm not using a garage or outside putting it together and having it hauled in, and it's made me come up with a different way, and I like it. It's coming together to me very nicely. It's a lot more space conservative. It's resource conservative, so that means money wise. It took me a couple of days to put that corner and that together, doing it that way. Now that I just put that 1 long board down there, it was like nothing to put the other pieces into it, and I used 2 shelves to make sure that they were spaced evenly, and then using my level to make sure that they were actual verticals, because some of them, the boards aren't as straight as I wish they were. So I had to kind of play around with it to make sure that they could fit into the space I wanted them. So having these limits financially and time-wise and physical, actual physical limits, have made me come up with something that I'm going to be a lot happier with than if I had $5,000 and bought the pre-made stuff and slapped it up there. And like I said, this is all 100% wood. Maybe not the best wood, but it's wood. There's no formaldehyde. There's no or maybe in the plywood, but it's not as bad as the MDFs and the particle boards and OSBs that's here. I mean, and it's I can't wait to have the project finished. But anyway, I just thought I'd just share why it happened this way, and that it's actually, I'm not just looking at the silver lining. It is. I'm thrilled. I wish I had a smaller project I could have started with and learned all this stuff and done this. But this is going to be up there as long. I don't plan on ever moving. So this is nicer in the end. It's going to be a lot nicer. I can't wait to be able to post the video where the doors are up on them. Anyway, thanks for watching.